Alright guys, welcome back. In this section I'm more particular concerned about the Frappy pages, generating context, and a little bit about CSS and JavaScript. But to know more about this, you come to the documentation, go down before Python API, you see portal pages. The portal page kind of explain how to work with the Frappy portal, on how to add web page and some other documents. Then the context, you are more particular about the context. The context is data you inject into your home page. Let's say you want to change all this data here to be called from a database, you will use the context. And one other thing is the CSS and the JavaScript files. Now, this is how CSS and JavaScript files work in Frappy. You would say, we have some pages here. I have a page called agent. Now, if I have a file called agent.py, the JavaScript file as well should be agent.js and the CSS should be agent.css. We can test that using this agent. Inside this agent, I will create two files. One is agent.css and the other is, okay, not agent itself. Since the name is index, we use the file name index, then agent.js, agent.js. Now, when this agent is loaded, it will pick the content of the CSS and the JS, load it into the HTML file. We can test that by first writing something like alert. Use a JavaScript code agent. Okay, you can go to your page slash agents. We have our agent, although the page file is not loaded. At some point, we might have to reload clear our browser cache for this to work, this JavaScript. Sorry, the file name is incorrect anyway. It's supposed to be renamed index.js. The HTML in question, the CSS and the JavaScript should be the same file name, including the Python itself. Think new file, index.py. So we have four files here: index.css, index.html, index.js, and index.py. If the file name is something like user.html, then the JavaScript, JS, CSS, and Python should be index.py, index.js, index.css. You can try this by reloading this page. Now you see the code just loaded, and if you use the source code, you'll find it at the bottom before the token file. You see the code will be automatically imported or injected into our home page. How about we work on what you call the context? Context is data that you inject into your HTML page using Python. Now we have this data, my account, logout, and switch to deck. This is a context that was injected into this page using Python. Including this, the title was injected here as well, and this powered by wherever. Okay, how do we do this? How do we use context? The documentation states clearly on how to use context. Here is a template. In your Python file, you declare a function called what? Define get context. Then it takes in a parameter called what? Context. And inside it, you have a kind of object called context. Then you attach whatever variable name you want to import into your code to the context, give it the value, return context, and that is all. I'll grab this entire content, come to my agent.py, paste it. Okay, I don't need this about settings or whatever. I don't know what's in there. Okay, anything you want to return should be context.start content. Now I want to return context.name, and the name I'm going to assign it to girls. Then in my index.html, I would only use this file, this one, name. I say agent is, remember you use your Ginger template system just like your print format. Agent is name. Reload this page and see the magic. Agent is what? Agent. And what did I call the agent in the Python file? Say agent is, okay, goes, it shouldn't be agent, is agent. Why it brought this here is because of the name by default. The name itself is the file, the page itself, the URL. Our URL is agent, so this page name is what? Agent. I'm going to use something else. I could say user name. Copy this to the HTML. Username. We row and we get, okay, username. Something is still quite not right. Excuse my okay, okay. Yeah, the actual problem is this would work, but one thing about the Python itself, using this name should work. One thing about Python is that at some point, once you write it into the Python file, you may have to reload that page, else you will not get what you are looking for. By default, the page name in the context is called name, but for this to work, I will have to reload my page. Just give this name. It will still say agent, but once I reload my terminal, I will get the name will be replaced with what I have. We can reload this. But now you see, it said agent is what? Gauze. Okay. How about adding another context? I can say context dot car equals to Dodge or is assigned Dodge. So you pick this car into the variable, the HTML file itself, and you say the car is bold. Close the bold. Save. Go back to your HTML page and reload. Although it may show, it may not show. If it doesn't show, that means you have to reload your terminal. That's just one issue here, but it's worth it anyway. It's worth retrying or reloading at some point. It is worth it. The terminal is still restarting. That's why it's taking some time. You see, the car is Dodge. And that is how you can work with the context. Now, how about from our home page? We kind of import some things into this place. We have several houses, and how can we import them all into this place? First, I would not want to work on the home page first. I would want to work on the page itself, house detail or property detail. From our Bootstrap templates we imported, if you click on property detail, you see how it looks like. So I'm going to work a little on the property details, then work on the property details page. Okay, you have something looking like this, and we don't have that yet in our home page. If I click on this, I'm going to get a 404 error. Okay, and what's the fix to that? So go back to our template where we downloaded the template itself. Okay, property detail. How about these properties? What's in these properties? Let me check to see what they have in that properties. Okay, the properties is the same as the home page. Okay, that's not an issue. Let me quickly work on the property details. Copy on the property detail, Come straight into our web page, into the property where we have the index. So you can delete this contact. Oh no, no, I'll leave the contact. Paste. Okay, can still leave it as property dash details, or I can just call it details for short. Details for short. Then open it in the URL slash property slash detail, get rid of this .html. Okay, now you see it shows very unstyled page. You repeat the same we did for other pages. On straight to the properties, details, just grab the index header, go to the details, delete the entire header, just the div after contact, that is contact, delete spaces, the name here should be detail, then remove the footer. Okay, we've done that. Then for the images as well, let's rc images. We find without thinking too much, go straight to the index and grab the content, close this. Replace all. Okay, we have double slash. So it would be a good idea to remove the slash in front of homeland. Replace all. Then for the background is URL open bracket one. Do the same thing here, URL open bracket, replace, save, go back to our home page, reload. Okay, loaded, but looking like something is missing, images are missing. We're going to check to know why. Search for images, file, assets, estate tab, homeland. Okay, we have an issue here. That is not correct. Should be search for this. Yeah, should be something like this slash images. So that was not correct. Replace or then find for the URL. Okay, we should have images after this homeland. Save. Go back to the page, reload, and the page should be fine now. Okay, we have slash property page, and something is not quite wrong. I think one of these, the CSS is kind of having some issues. Let's see where we did something wrong. Check the terminal if you find a 404 200. Okay, 404 email decode.min.js. That should not be the issue. 404. Okay, what I'm going to do is start this afresh. It will cost me nothing to do. Remove the header. Save, remove the footer, change it to end block. I fix the images. I see an issue somewhere. Ctrl Z. This color isn't really correct. I think this code should not be here. This URL should be. Let me fix the image sources first. Find. Okay, this is okay. Then for the URL, save. Then reload that page. Okay, later I may have to find what is missing here, or I'll check the main page itself, the main page file. Okay, something is not quite right, but it does not stop us from continuing. Except in the page file, there is some kind of CSS or something missing. I'm going to check the page itself, the file. Compare it with ours. Prefer online style, AOS style, flat and okay, we don't have to waste too much time in this. If there's issue, we can get rid of this particular contact form issue. In the contact form that's giving issue, I want to quickly work on this page information. So to do that, I'll check for one of our property. I'll retrieve that property first and use it as an example. Okay, I'm gonna retrieve for this 47. Let's see if it has informations. Okay, I'll retrieve for 47. Okay, now that's nice. When you click here, it copies. That's good. This new feature in Frappe, when you click on a document name, it copies that document for you. Come straight to our detail. Go to the HTML property, then the detail.html. In detail.html, also create a file called detail.py. New file, detail.py, details.py. And in that file, you can grab this again from the portal page. Grab the Python code. Okay, you can see the detail is assigned frappe.db. Sorry, frappe.doc. Frappe.getDoc. The name of the document is doc type is property. Then the name of the document is, I believe. Let's go check that once more. Yeah, 47. Okay, 04 before 7. Then you can return this. You can access this detail as detail in our page. Always recall to restart your server at some point, else you may not get what you are looking for. While the server restarts, you can come to our detail page. The first thing I want to work on is change this name This 625S Verendo is on the slider. The background 625S Verendo and the amount below it. Then in our doc type, we have the property name and we have grand total. So in our HTML page, here will be detail dot property name underscore name based on what you have in our doc type property underscore name. Then where we have the price, it becomes detail dot grand total. Although the currency format may not work here for the now, it may not work here, but that's not an issue. We'll find a way to work on that. Reload and you see a change. Okay, you see the property name has changed to property with email 7, and you see the price here changed to number 97,048.5, and it is the same with what we have 97,047.5. Later we'll work on fixing the currency. Okay, work on fixing the currency. Then what is next? We have other information here. Okay, I'm going to work on the image. Next thing is working on the image, and the image field is called image. Okay, the URL holds the background image. I'll replace this entire URL with detail dot image. At some point, if a property has no image, you will encounter an error. I'm going to show you how to fix those errors. Reload this. Now I might get something. You can see the difference here. And what about this? This is more of a slider, shows different. That is when you connect it to a kind of table where you upload a child table where you upload different images for the property. You can put that here, but for the now, I'll leave this home slider first. Then this total price again, replace it. Later we'll find how we'll see how to format the currency using JavaScript. Then home type, year built, all these kind of things, we'll fix it out. I'm going to ignore this. This home type, I'll change it to property type. Then this more info, I'll change it to description. Then this one below here will be related property. We'll work on that one later. For the now, we'll just focus on this main page content. Change this home type and more info. Home type, detail dot property type. Then this more info, replace it with a single paragraph. Then in between the paragraph, you have your detail dot description. You can actually change this detail to property itself. Okay, I'm going to change every instance of detail to property. Control F, detail. Replace it with what? Property. Then in our Python file, change this detail here to property. Restart our server. Come back here, then reload. Let's see if we can Just add one of this slider. This is a slider, slider 1. I'm just going to change only the first one to our image. Property, no longer detail, property.image. We just replace the 3 with the same thing. Reloads. Okay, I have it, and all the slider will be the same thing for the now. Then how about this agent? What do you do about this agent? And this is the agent. For the agent name, I'm going to change this to form. I think there's a way to disable, but let me go straight, add it one by one. Disabled. I think you can do that with JavaScript as well. And we have value equal to property. Come back to this, say retrieve the agent. Becomes context dot agent is assigned frappe dot get doc agent. Then the name is what? Property dot agent. The property dot agent is same as what we have here. Property dot agent, this agent code number. Restart your server. Then the agent name will be what? Agent dot. Let's see what the name looks like. Agent name. You can also check it from the agent page. Agent name, okay. Agent image. The agent name, image, and email. Why is this color different? Value. This is agent.agent name. Then the email becomes agent.email. There's something funny here. The color isn't really matching. This is green, this is red, right? We'll see how far. Then here becomes agent.phone, which does not exist. And this submit button, we don't need it. For the contact agent, I only want to use this contact agent to retrieve the agent itself. Reload. Okay, this agent said undefined. Agent is undefined. This is how the Ginger templates kind of print error for you, and it said agent is undefined. To check to know where this error is coming from, you check through the detail.py. You have context.agent which exists. Then this property here becomes okay. It should not be property.agent. It should be context.property.agent. Control V. Reload your browser. So always note it context.property.agent because the property is assigned to the context. And you see what we have here? No phone, this is the agent's email and the agent full name. Though we can actually add some kind of information here to contact the agent. Okay, maybe when you click contact agent, as you click contact, that model opens for you. Then once it opens, you collect the detail. And how about the info? You can see what we typed in as a description from the page. This is what we typed in as the description. You see it right? Okay, what else? We have some other field information and doctype field we'll add on later because if you look, you see price per square feet, we may get rid of this. I'm only trying to show you how to build Frappy portal. Here built, we may get rid of this and add some other things like address, something like this address. Okay, we've already worked on property type, but work on the address. Then yeah, this status, you may have to change the status to something else, then leave the status as property status like draft, can also submit something like this. But for the now, I'll use this status to show what it is for. Can go back to our property. We have home type flat, then okay, transaction status, or I can just say for at the top. Go to our HTML. Okay, this here built, I'll change it to 4. It doesn't make sense, but just to show you something. Property dot status. So this becomes for sale. Then at somewhere at the bottom here, you can try and list out the what is it called utilities before this gallery. You can list out the utilities. This could be the actual price before utilities. Okay, I will say this should be what? Price or actual price. Then this becomes property dot price. I believe that is the value in the doc type. Let's check the doc type to confirm so. Yeah, property dot price. Then if you want to add discount, you can add discount. Then one more thing I'm going to work on this actual the property name code itself to track the property. We can look for somewhere to apply the property code. Can add it just after this, what's it called? Or just next to this property price square feet. Next to this price square feet, which I have changed to something else, I change it to yeah, actual price. Doctype dot price does not exist. Let us see the name. Property price, okay, that's the field. So the error here means that it cannot find no such element. Just before this property will drop the property code. And the code becomes what? Property.name. Save. Reload the page. Okay, here is 3 by 3 by 3 by 3. I'm going to reduce this to so it can be contained on this row. Reduce that. Um, I'll reduce this to this, this, and this to 3. That is bootstrapping. Refresh. Okay, it's all contained on the same row now. Then the next thing is the items itself. Items. You can use some kind of table. I'll use something like Control T. Type it somewhere here. Something like a bootstrap table. Okay, we use this table, this one. Then look for somewhere to put it before the gallery. Okay, here is the gallery, but before this gallery, can drop it somewhere. Add it as a paragraph, maybe in between a div. I'm not a CSS fan. Okay, in this div, you can have something like a H2, call it amenities, and after it, you can have this table here. Try to indent the table forward. Save. Reload. I'm not after building a beautiful page, just want us to see how we can work with this. Okay, the amenities is too big, we'll reduce that. Something like H4, H3 is okay. Then it shouldn't be all cap. Amenity save. And in these amenities, we can have check through our doctype to see what we have in the amenities. Okay, we have the amenity itself, and the field name is amenity. No, could not be amenity. This the field name is amenity. This is a amenity price. We care less about this discount. When you click on this edit, you see it amenity price. I care little about these discounts. Okay, here will be amenity price. Told you I'm going to work on this price later. Price and what else? Okay, just amenity and price. That's all. Get rid of this. Then get rid of all the table row except one. Leave one. Recall that this amenities is a child table, so we will look through this child table to get each of the elements. And how do you look through it? In Ginger. Just like we did in our print format. We say for amenity in properties, no property dot amenities. Amenities is the name of the table. Amenities. At the bottom of this table row, say end for. Then this becomes in the what do we call it? The print format. I showed you how to use the numbering. How to use the numbering, something like index.loop, something like that. I cannot recall, but I believe it should be something like this. But if it doesn't work, we'll check the content. Then the first thing here should be what? Amenity dot amenity. And the next thing is what? Amenity dot amenity underscore price. In this last table, get rid of it, save, and reload this page. Yeah, there's an error because of this index. You can check to recall what I used earlier. Print format. Okay, loop.index, not index.loop. Loop.index. Reload. Okay. Yeah, it says amenity price is not found. You can check to see what the field is in the amenity. Edit amenity underscore price. Wow. Amenity. Okay, I wrote amenity, not amenity. Amenity. Reload. And here we have the amenities with the prices. Recall I told you we'll still work on this was the pricing itself to see how it works. And so here you have a page that shows the property detail retrieved. But some of you may want to say, how do you know which property you clicked on? When you're on the home page and you click property, it should show something like this. This detail should show you something like detail slash 00047. How do we do that? Well, I'm going to show you that in the next video of this playlist. So just keep watching or be patient. The next video will be available and you see how you can access it directly using the name of the property or the property name in doctype. Thanks for watching.